it is February 7th, 2022. I was looking through my notebooks. I have so many, but I was just reading about what I wrote here. Some more signs of how I know I'm going through like a spiritual awakening and spiritual journey, I guess. So one of the first things I wrote was like this pull to work on inner healing and kind of like searching within myself. So I'm very like, I think about the future, or I did a lot. So like where I'm trying to go next and how to get there. And never like took time to kind of like, we'll stay in the present moment and then kind of like look back and, admit to myself that there are like stuff I need to work on. Because I'll just be real. Like most of the time I assumed it was the other person, and to some degree, yes, but also there was like things that I needed to do, which is like clearly in my previous relationship there was a lack of boundaries. There was issues with codependency, which I learned this year in 2022 what that actually means. Of kind of also just like pouring everything I had into another person, and I just had nothing left within me to like love myself pretty much. So I knew like November 2020 when my journey kind of began and I kept getting signs and synchronicities that there was like this instant like I need to move and I need to be in my own place and I need to heal. And as much as I like love my parents and they're cool, like I just knew like I need to like figure this out on my own and know to myself that I'm gonna be okay. Like this is just a little bump in life, I guess. So I did that. In December, I ended up moving to my own 1-bedroom apartment. Is it expensive? Yes, but it's manageable. I just need to stop spending on stuff I don't need, but working on that. So that's number 1. 2, hypersensitive. Oh my God. I have been obviously sensitive my whole life. I think when I was younger, I would cry all the time. Like I didn't know how to process my emotions, which I think most kids don't know. But anyway, I was a crybaby and known for it. Everything would just make me cry. And then I think, obviously, I toughened up and stopped crying and, still like, obviously randomly throughout my life, like random things would still make me cry, like, I don't know, a movie or something where it's not even like a big deal. But since my awakening, it's been like very, very like heavy crying and very like just dense emotions. I think I've kind of figured it out. Some days obviously it's more rough than usual, but I like know what to do in that case. So yeah, so pull to work on my inner self and hypersensitive. Another thing I wrote down was sleep. So I would wake up between 3 and 5 a.m. like 6 days out of the 7 days of the week. Like it was just insane. And like I would stay up for like an hour, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. Like I don't know how I should be functioning the next day, but somehow I had enough energy. So that I was like, okay, there's something clear. Like before my awakening, I would sleep for like 7 hours nonstop, and like you could like throw something at me and I would like not wake up. But like now I'm just like wide awake and alert and full of energy. Fourth, I wrote down this elimination of processed food and like old eating habits. So I would say around 6-7 months into my awakening, that's where like I developed a severe like intolerance to gluten. I kind of always knew that just because in my family and stuff like that, we always kind of felt bloated and stuff like that after we ate bread and bread and rice. No, does rice have gluten? Anyway, yeah. Now it's like I can take it in very small doses, which sucks because I love like just eating bread, butter, and jam. That's like my go-to. And then spicy food, like the past year, I can't even eat pizza, like stuff with acid, like Thai food. Both times that I went out to eat with my friends, either eating pizza or Thai food, I had to like buy Tums on the way home because I just could not like digest properly. So it's really interesting. It just kind of came out of left field. But it's also like, now that I am working from home and in my own space where I can like control what I eat, I am like eating probably the healthiest I have ever eaten before. So that's good. Lots of veggies, fruits. Fifth, I wrote like non-judgmental. I think I've always been that way though. Like, I really don't like when people talk about other people. Like, it really bothers me. And my dad is the same way. He'll just like walk out of the room if that happens, and I do the same thing. I just don't like negative, toxic energy. Like, I'm very sensitive to it. Or like, if I just walk into a room and it's like very dense energy, I can like pick it up very quickly. Like, I remember we had a really, really terrible meeting at work, and I was like, I just don't have a good feeling. Like, before this happened, an hour before this happened, I was like, I just don't have a really good feeling. I think I want to like record this. It's just something my brain is just telling me to record it. So I did, and that was probably the worst meeting we've ever had. And then everyone, some of the people that I told, they're like, how did you know that meeting was going to go like that? I was like, I don't know. It's just like, I just read the freaking atmosphere of the office or something. So yeah, there's that. Not caring for material things that much. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love material stuff, but I have my limits. Like, I don't really have that many designer stuff, and I don't care for it. Yeah, I don't know. I think being Afghan, I think a lot of the ones that I know are very into this stuff, like designer labels and like Mercedes and like BMWs and blah blah blah. Which, like, yeah, if I can get it, I would, but I wouldn't like go out of my way to buy it. Does that make sense? Well, I do love Porsches, but I don't think I'd get one because like I'd want to like try to parallel park with it, and I'd be too paranoid. But anyway, that was one. This gravitating towards nature and like feel healing in the presence of like the sun and trees and water. So before this apartment, I lived in another apartment which had like so many trails, and like it was surrounded by water. And so I'd go out there like every day, and I lived out there for like 7 years, mostly 7 years. So I'm just like, once I feel stressed or overwhelmed, I just automatically just went on a long walk there, or like, yeah, it always like brought me back to center. Or sometimes I would take like a day beach trip and just like tan in the sun and play in the water, and I'd be like in such a better mood. Yeah, I think that's like helped me a lot. I wish to do more of that, actually. This is kind of mentioned before, but staying away from like bad, low energy people, places, things, can't stand it. Like I don't like clubs. I don't even really like bars that much. It depends. Like, what else? Things. I don't read like gossip stuff anymore. I used to really be into that. Not into it, but like it wouldn't bother me. Now if like I am at my parents' house and they'll have like Real Housewives on TV, or like any of the freaking triggering TLC shows that are out now, like I can't watch it at all. Like it just bugs me. Which is interesting. I used to be able to tolerate that and like watch it no problem. This thing with like friendship, I feel like since my awakening, like all my close friends have like moved away, or they're just like very busy in their own lives, like as I am too. But it's just like there's many moments where I just felt very like alone and isolated, and I'm very like, I don't know, I always thought I was extroverted, and I feel very introverted now. But also we're in a pandemic, so yeah. What else? But yeah, I feel like I cannot relate to people at all. Like I just want to talk about like childhood trauma and like, I don't know, finding a solution to plastic waste in the ocean, and like, yeah, no one wants to talk about that. Or cares, or some people care, but like it doesn't go very deep, and I'm like, no, let's like figure this out. All right, anyway, oh, I remember in the first couple months of my awakening, I don't know why, I just like had this like drive to like figure out my life goals, figure out what I wanted to do. There was like one day where like I could not do any work for my job, and like something in my brain was just like, go take a notebook, sit over there, think about what you want to do for the rest of your life, and write it down. And like I tried to ignore it obviously, but then it just kept growing, so I just went ahead and did that, and after I did that I was able to work. It was the strangest thing. I told my friend about it. Oh, my anger towards social media bullshit and like inauthenticity. Oh my god, this has been going on for a while. Like I have my love-hate relationship with certain sites. But I think in November through now, I'm just like very over it, and I'm just like, please just show me something fun, exciting, unique, even vulnerable. I don't care, just something. I don't want to see like this picture perfect like life or whatever you're trying to like tell me. I mean, probably people look at me and think that too, but like, yeah, anyway. Let's see. I'm trying to be more vulnerable. Obviously, YouTube is a start. Maybe social media next. But it's scary. Because, like, I feel safe here because no one knows me. But social media, I know people, and they'd be like, oh, she's gone mad. Like, she can't handle living alone, or like, I don't know, whatever people are thinking. Oh, I'm very like grossed out by corporate greed, politics, money, too much ego, self-centeredness. I can like spot it from a mile away, and it just sends me into a freaking blood boil. Maybe that's also the pandemic too, because it's like brought out the worst. Okay, yeah, I've been celibate, so I'm very like selective of who I give my time and energy and effort to. So I just have given it to nobody but myself. Which was not what I was anticipating. I was like, cool, I'm single after like so long. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be like all about giving my energy. No, that the opposite happened, which I'm happy about, to be honest, because I've kind of like seen what I need to see, and I think I'm good. I know I'm good. Oh, yeah, healing childhood wounds, past beliefs, programming. So I noticed this right away when my twin flame popped up. Pretty much, like, I was very hurt from my previous relationship, and I definitely had like my wall way up, and I was just like, how am I supposed to like relate to people and like talk to them if I just want to like push them away? So I did some minor work, but then when I went through my dark night of the soul, that's when that stuff really just snowballed into a lot of healing, a lot of crying, a lot of healing. Meditation was another thing. So at first when I would do it, like nothing would happen. But then certain guided meditations that I'd find on YouTube, I think after my Reiki experience, really kind of shifted my mindset. So when I was doing my Reiki in September, the only one session that I did, she took me to some other dimension, over the phone, by the way, because pandemic, but yeah, I saw and felt things that I'd never seen or felt before. And so after that, I started really like trying to get into meditation because I wanted to see the things that I saw the Reiki session. So yeah, it's cool. I went from like seeing like colors to some visuals, and then like I hope like in the next couple months some other things can pop up. Yeah, so okay, let's see. So the beginning of my spiritual journey was, I would say, November 2020, and it's now February 2022. I would say in the span of the past year, I did a Vedic astrology reading the first few months of my awakening, because I was like, what is happening here? Then that kind of like reassured me that like I am intuitive, and like it's totally normal that I'm this way and that way. Then I would say in September, that's when I did my Reiki session. That, because I still felt like I was this new version of myself, but the past was like clinging on to me, dragging me. So on a whim, I just randomly decided like, let me look up like Reiki healers near me, and I found somebody, and it was like a great experience. Third, I did an Akashic Records reading in December. This was gifted by my friend. That really, I think, had the most impact on me. It just like totally confirmed to me that like I'm on the right track, and what and how I feel is totally okay. And, you know, getting that confirmation from my guides, I think, was very helpful on like what I needed to kind of focus my energy on, and I have been. And then last month on a whim, my cousin asked me if I wanted to do some kind of intuitive counseling session, and she told me 30 minutes before her appointment was scheduled. So that one was more like future-based talk, which obviously I don't know if it's effective or not because it hasn't been the future, but she did pick up on a few things that like only I knew internally. Same with Akashic records, but Akashic records, I don't know, we were more, I feel like, in alignment together. Yeah, so that's the bottom of the list. Woohoo! Another super long video. It's very hard to not give my experiences with this because I want people to relate. I'm interested to like hear from others' perspectives. But those were, I wish I remember this. I think they were about like 10, if not 15 points. And I feel like I should do one next on like this twin flame journey, because like sometimes I do kind of question, like I don't know what the other person is thinking at all. I just know from myself what I experience, and it's just very unusual not to have a deeper meaning, I guess, you know? So yeah, that gave me an idea. Cool. All right, hope that helps.